Big deep breath. All right. Bring it into center. I don't know about you guys, but this was a rough start for me this morning. You know, we're not in our usual space or our usual place. We like to get up out of our houses and go to spaces of workout. We work out in those workout spaces, and then we come home. And home is for home things. Home isn't for working out. Well, so as you breathe into the chest, Ori reminded me of a meditation practice called Tonglen. How's it spelled? Tongel. Tongel. So the way the practice goes is when you're breathing in, if you are having a rough day and you feel what you're feeling, you breathe in with the intention of, may no one else in the world feel the way I feel right now. So you're sending a blessing out to others, acknowledging that, yes, sometimes life stinks, and may no one else feel this way. So check in with the way you feel, because the opposite side of that coin is, if I'm breathing in and I feel good, breathe in and out with the intention of, may others feel as good as I do right now. So check in, describe to yourself, or even out loud. I mean, y'all can talk all you want. Describe to yourself how you feel, and whether you want others to feel that way or whether you want others not to feel that way. So it's actually a really proactive breath process. So find the sits bones and elongate the breath. Figure out how you feel in this moment. Check inside for where center is. So if you're feeling a little off, it may be because you're not exactly feeling absolutely centered at the moment. So may others feel as centered as I do right now. May others feel as centered as I do right now. And you can even wish it on individual people that you know are having trouble with what's going on. 3 more breaths. May others, and fill in the blank. 2 more. And may that 3rd breath of yours feel as balanced. Beautiful. Now we're going to roll down onto our backs. If you've got a blanket roll that you want to roll across so that you can support the spine and get a little more curve out of that lumbar, you're welcome to. If you want to just roll flat down on the floor, I'm going to roll flat on the floor. If you need to put your feet on the floor to alleviate any of that low back tension, we're going to do a practice of lifting and relieving. So we're going to, if you've got a blanket roll like Ori does behind the back, you're not going to be able to lift anymore. You're going to think about rising through the spine. But when you go to release the spine, she can still press that spine down into the blanket roll. So I call this kind of like being like an aqueduct, but it's cat and cow on your back. You want to leave the hips on the floor. You want to leave the shoulder blades on the floor. And when you breathe in, you want that sternal area to lift. And when you breathe out, you want that whole spine to press down into the blanket or the floor. Breathing in and lifting. Breathing out and pressing. So weightlifting class is a beautiful thing because it gets the metabolism up, works on the nervous system. It really gets the energy flowing. And then with the yoga, we want to bring that centered feeling and that balance back in. 2 more times, wherever you are, lifting through that belly and sternum, Exhaling and pressing, lifting, and then settle the spine down into the floor. And we're going to pull the right knee into the chest. So you can set that left foot on the floor and then pull in with that right thigh. And if you feel the need to do some ankle circles, you can do ankle circles. Breathing it in. Breathing it out. See if the shoulders are inclined to settle down on the mat or into the blanket. One more big breath. And then the right foot settles down. Left leg, bring that thigh in. Ankle or no ankle, up to you. And just feel what it feels like to breathe the flesh of the belly into the thigh. Now, if the hip isn't that flexible and that thigh isn't hitting the belly flesh, don't worry about it. We're just practicing breath work right now. May others feel as centered as I feel right now. May others feel as centered as I feel right now. Release that leg. Arms are going to go out into T position. Breath here. Gorgeous. Just letting the floor absorb some of that energy. And on the next breath out, you're going to think about rolling that bolster out from under your spine. So if you've got something back there, ka-clunk off the side, move it out of the way. Beautiful. Arms go back into T position. Legs come up parallel to the floor, or parallel at the shins. And then push the heels away slightly from the body until the belly area grabs on. Beautiful. Now pull the knees firmly into the belly flesh and then press the heels away slightly. Pull in toward the belly, press away. And then if you feel inclined, stretch those heels out and away. Lift head and shoulders, reach fingertips like you're trying to stretch up toward the tippy toes. Breathing in. You guys look great. Hanging out. Inhale. Exhale, curl in towards center. Wrap the forearms around the shins. Compress those thighs into the belly. Cervical spine nice and long on the floor. 2 more breaths into those thighs. So we're going to go into this practice and come out of the practice in similar ways. We're going to start on the floor and end on the floor and put a whole bunch of fun stuff in the middle. Inhale. Exhale. Arms out into T position. Drop the legs off to the left side. A little spinal twist. Oh, yes, Lord. Anybody else need that? So as you're twisted this way, some of us more than others, breathe into those right ribs. And as you breathe in, you might want to roll that right shoulder up off the floor. And when you breathe out, settle that right shoulder blade into the floor. If your shoulder blade doesn't touch the floor, don't worry about it. We breathe in, we lift away from the floor, we breathe out and settle back in. And you guys know, of course, at any point you want to ramp these postures up and do something different, you want to slow them down and modify, it's up to you. One more breath. You can also just do whatever you want. You know, you got your friends around, we can just hang out and you could stand on your head. Next time you breathe in, the knees come up toward the center. Drop those legs off, yes, to the opposite side. Gorgeous. Inhaling and exhaling. Ooh, my toes are on Ori. Ew. So check in. Have you been finding time through the day to find deep breaths? I know that I've been making it my habit. I get up in the morning, I turn on the various news agencies on my phone, and I check the numbers. And is that good for me? Or could I go and have a cup of tea and listen to satsang over in India with Sadhvaji and then check the numbers? I probably could. So have I made a good routine for myself? Now that I think about it, not really. I'm not breathing deeply in the morning. I'm getting up and taking a shallow breath. Knees come up toward the ceiling, grab the backs of the thighs, press the heels up toward the ceiling. If you need to hold on, hold on. If you want to climb up and point at your big toes, climb up and point at your big toes. There we go. So you're attempting to straighten the backs of the legs as much as you can. If you can grab onto the outside edges of the feet or the toes, do so. Wide leg V, here we go. If you're just going to support the thighs with the hands and just let the groin space loosen up, beautiful. But wide legs, reach through the heels. I was watching a friend of mine on Facebook 2 days ago do this posture. She could get her toes on the floor. I was like, ow. Oh, she's an amazing human. I call her little Buddha. Breathing in. Breathing out. Bend the legs, happy baby. Roll yourself happily from side to side. You want to pull one thigh down into the floor and then the other. You can get as crazy with this as you want to. Oh, Ori's groaning. Yes. Gorgeous. There you go. Happy baby. Pull both thighs equally toward the floor. And then breathe. Would you want someone to feel the way you feel now? And if not, I hope that no one feels the way I feel right now in this world. Or if so, I wish that others feel this way. All right, transition move of choice to hands and knees. I personally like to cross my ankles and roll forward and through. I'm gonna fix my little jetpack here. Clip myself back in. Oh Lord, I have to. There we go. So hands and knees. And you guys know that if you need to put your forearms down instead, put your forearms down. If you need to put a cushion down to put your forearms on, make all of the adjustments and then wag your tail from side to side. And there we go. So we're just shifting and shifting and shifting. Now, if you want to turn this into a hip drop to the floor, turn it into a hip drop. Get real deep down by that SI joint. If your doctor has mentioned your SI joint to you in the past, then don't do it. We don't want to dislodge anything. No reasons to go to the hospital right now. God, a friend of mine's son cut his scalp. He stood up under something and cut his scalp. She freaked out. She's like, I can't take him to the hospital. So as two old EMTs, we were like, nah, he's fine. We'll get out the stapler if we need to. Let those hips rise back to center. Plant those hands right under the shoulders. Right leg is going to press right out back. Belly button draws in. So I have a bad tendency to drop my belly. and then just kind of sag, and I got this arch going on. So I have to press, make sure that your shoulders feel really strong and that your chest wall fires off. Reaching back through the heel. Breathe in, breathe out. Now think about the top of the left foot or those left toes that are curled under. Can I press them into the floor to cause my pelvis to rise just a little bit away from the floor? It's going to cause my left quad to flex a little bit. Bring all the attention in. Breathe in. Breathe out. Okay, right knee, right elbow. Slide it up and out to the side. Breathe it in. Breathe out, push that foot straight back. Then bend the knee, point the toes at the ceiling, and start to make circles. A bit like a Siamese cat tail. Inhaling and exhaling. Now for those of you that are going to stay right here or stretch that leg out long, beautiful, do that. Pause your circles, reach your left hand forward, sweep it up and back, reach for your toes, pop your knee. There you go. So, boop. So there's a lot to do in this left leg. The top of the left foot presses down into the floor. Breathing in, breathing out, knees together, hands reach forward, puppy or child. Wherever you go, let the head hang heavy, because if you were in weightlifting, we were all up in this trapezius region up here. Whew, that's migraine city, unless I stretch it out. Inhale. Exhale, bunk the hips up just a little. Press the tops of both feet down. Plant the left hand. Right hand threads the needle. I drop that right shoulder and the right ear on the floor. My left hand either reaches forward or goes up and across the back. Excellent. I would say anybody that wants to do flying rabbit here, go forth, but let's not and say we did. Breathing in, breathing out. Now, on your breath, do you wish that others would feel this way, or do you wish that they wouldn't? Send out the blessing. Left hand comes up by the nose, press down into the mat, slide that right arm out, firm up your tabletop position, and then left leg reaches out behind. Belly button draws in. There we go. Breathing it in and out. Firm up that chest wall. Would I want other people to feel this way? And then exhale. When the knee comes to the elbow, would you want other people to feel this way? Lord knows I do. Strong enough to tap that left elbow with that left knee. Breathe in, breathe out. Send that heel out back. Reestablish the firmness in the chest. Bend the knee and then start to make circles.
Okay.
Yeah. Lots of breath.
I can see you now.
And then either stay here, straighten the leg, or right hand reaches forward and then sweeps up and back for that left foot. Yes, opposite hand, opposite leg. Yes, yes. So the biggest thing that's going to happen is you're going to want to lock out your right elbow. Yep. I had mine just all kinds of locked out. I don't want to be locked out. I want to strengthen the muscles around that elbow joint. Breathe in. Breathe out, knees down. Stretch it out. Reach forward with your child and sit back, or keep the hips high, forehead down, and stretch through the chest wall. One more breath. Head rises slightly, hips rise slightly. Right hand plants, left arm slides under so the left elbow and the shoulder drop down. Left ear. Right hand stays overhead or arcs across the back or really goes wherever you want it to. There we go. Through the eye of the needle, people. It's amazing what can come into our lives to weed out the extraneous stuff. I mean, really, take your mind into something you were worried about 6 weeks ago. And how much attention you were putting on it, and how much in the worry, and all of these things. And have you even thought about it since?
No.
Inhale.
Okay.
Exhale. Right hand comes down in front of the nose. Pull the body back up into that tabletop. Oh yeah. Here we go. Plant the hands. Firm up that chest wall. Walk the knees back. Drop the hips. So knee down first for our plank. Squeeze the buns. Boop, your own. Nothing cheeky there, Thorpe people. Belly draws in. Draws out. Toes curl. Firm it up. Plank it out. Breathing in. Breathing out. Right knee comes down. Roll the right or left fingertips, rather. Roll the left fingertips up toward the ceiling. Modified side plank. We're going to turn this into other things. This is phase 1 or mini phase 1. Which is perfectly fine. If the knees are starting to hurt, put something up under the knees. Don't cats just love yoga? I love it. Roll that left hand down. Toes curl, plank. Oh my God, this is so hard after that class. All of those military presses. Left knee comes down, curl down, open up. Right fingertips toward the ceiling. Inhale. Exhale. Roll back down. Curled toe, plank. Don, don, don. Breathe it in. Breathe it out. Right knee comes down. Roll it open. Left fingertips up. Okay, choices. All right. We can lift the outer leg. We can bend that leg and reach back for the foot. So we've already been here with the opposite hand. Now we've got same hand. Or I grab and I press and I open. Up to you. Breathe in. So it's a side plank with a bow or a heel kick to the ceiling or just a lift. Release, sweep overhead, elongate that leg. Don't put it down quite yet. Take that foot behind the right ankle and open up the chest toward the ceiling a little. So for a modified wild thing, breathe in, breathe out, both hands on the floor. Knee, child, or puppy. Don't worry, the plank is coming back in just a second. I know. Oh, she swore at me. Bad. Do we need a swear jar? All right, curl up and out. Would you want others to feel the way you do right now as you plank it out again? Oh, yeah. Feeling good, feeling hoppy. Da-dum-da-dum. Inhale. Exhale, left knee down. Roll to the left, right fingertips up. Gate pose. Lift that right leg at first. Decide whether that's enough or reach back, grab that foot, turn it into a bow, or grab the big toe Open the heel toward the ceiling. Breathing in and out. Release the foot, reach the arm over the ear. Extend nice and long, and then drop the toes behind. Open up, baby wild thing. Inhale. Exhale. Woo! Roll it down. Knee, wide knee, child or puppy. Toes come together. Drop that heart space as close to the floor as you can. Maybe even put a cupcake up under each hand so that you can get a little more of a rock out of that chest. Beautiful. Now, a little self-question and answer. Is this helping me? Is this hindering me? Do I like the way I feel right now? Or is there something I need to add to make this better? It's all about your experience. One more breath. Plant those hands, slide them up under the shoulders. Tabletop. Knees walk back, knee down plank. Press the tops of the feet into the floor. Now hug the upper arms into the side of the body. Squeeze the buns. Tops of the feet on the floor if you can. Press the tops of the feet down. Flex the quads. Lifted plank, but you're on the tops of your feet. Inhale. Exhale. For those of you who want to, bend the elbows, lower the chest, roll yourself down, plant your forehead for just a moment. Breathing in. And breathing out. Here we go. You're going to take that right knee, slide it up next to the elbow. You're going to curl your left toes under. You're going to press the hands down and in and lift slightly. So your knee is sliding up next to you. Curl the back toes, lift the hip. So you're in a supported plank at this point. You got the knee out to the side. It's a lizard lift. Breathe it in. Breathe it out. Knee comes down. Roll the chest back down. Before the shoulders land, right arm comes out. We're going to take our left arm, slide it across the floor, roll our left ribs under, and just put our head on the top of our arm. Right hand plants for just a moment. And then if you feel that it's going to work for you, slide your right hand toward you. Open up the right arm toward the back side of the room. Slide that left hand down and in, and now you're in a spinal twist. So the nice thing about this twist is we've done this twist a million times, but we normally come into it from being on the back first. This was a rotation until we end up like that. There you go. So the inner right thigh is on the floor, and you slowly turn that thoracic. You turn that spine down toward the floor. Yep, that left arm slides out in front of the chest until you're in T position in that spinal twist. One more breath. Exhale. All right, here goes the transition. We start to pull that right arm across the body. That left arm shifts, the palm turns down. I slide out into T position, face down. I've still got my bent leg. I turn my head to the opposite side if I can. This is a grounding posture. So this is what your floor sees of you right now, with your head turned to the left. If your head will turn to the left. You ever think about what your floor sees all day? You guys look great. And if my words aren't translating, don't worry about it. Do what feels good. Breathe in. Breathe out. Lift the head slightly. Turn the forehead down. Hands slide back up under the shoulders. The right foot slides back. Left side. Here we go. Left leg slides out and up. Oh, okay. We're going to keep the right knee on the floor for now. We're going to lift into a half plank through the upper body. Yep. There you go. Oh, bah. So we lift, lizard, curl the back toes, lift the hip. So we've got that left leg down just to give us the support. You could lift it. Ugh. I mean, it's up to you. Breathe in. Breathe out. Right knee lands. Pelvis lands. We've got that left arm that goes out into T, the right arm that comes up. I slide until I can put my head on my upper arm. Hold there for just a moment. And then slowly start to transition onto your back. Left arm slides toward the body. Right arm comes down into T. And you open up. Because the great thing about this transition is if I've been forcing myself into this spinal twist in classes, I may notice that I was actually causing damage. This is only going to allow me to open up as much as my spine is ready for today. And breathe. Go into that Tonglen breath. Would I want someone else to feel this way? And if so, wish it for them. And if not, wish that they never will. Beautiful. One more big breath. And then here goes the transition. Left arm back across the body. Right arm tick-tocks overhead. Turn the chest down. Plant the ladies firmly. Head turns to the right. Oh, I can't turn my head. Isn't that interesting? And we just breathe. Big breath in. Forehead rotates down. Those hands come up under the shoulders. We slide that left leg back. Choices: plank or downward dog. We're going to lift into the plank first, and then if you want to lift hips up and back, gorgeous. If plank isn't your thing, plant the knees and shift through the hips and that kind of thing instead. But if you're going to go into downward facing dog, start with the hands. I want to press all 10, 9, 8, or 7 of your finger pads into the mat first. Press down with the fingertips, not till arthritis is set off, but so that you're firm. Then go to the pads at the base of the fingers. Press those into the mat. Then the heel of the hand. Once the whole palm of the hand is pressed in, then press through the shoulders until your tailbone is sliding away from you. Gorgeous. Open armpits. Oh, you look so good. See, we don't even have to worry about wearing deodorant right now. Breathing in. Gorgeous. Breathing out. Now look up at the thumbs. Start to shift the body. We're going to take that right heel, send it up toward the ceiling first. If you're in a tabletop, it's the same thing. You're just going to send it to the wall behind you. Then bring the knee in between the thumbs, and then here we go. We slide back either into full pigeon, or we shift to that right hip, bend that back leg, we go into mermaid, and then lay down over the thigh. So if you're in mermaid, you can plant your forearms and let your nose come down by your knee. If you're in pigeon posture, the heel is relatively under the left hip bone. We try to square, and then we settle down into the floor. Nicely done. Lots of breath here. You guys know that this is one of those postures that we hold so that that hip capsule can elongate. Inhale and exhale. Find center. If you can't actually get to center because you're receiving a pain response, then make the adjustment away from what you're doing, because pain response is going to pull you off center. That's why a lot of people that are in chronic pain kind of live you see them and they have kind of a sour face. And it's because they can't get beyond the sensation. We want to feel the body settle. We want to feel the face relax. The next time you breathe in, the hands plant below the shoulders. The body lifts. If you want to do the plank toe curl, lift the leg into the body and hover. You're welcome to. Oh yeah. Breathe it in. Breathe it out. And then either downward facing dog, tabletop, or child pose. Pick your poison. It's very poisonous in here. Yesterday, I was cleaning out a closet and I found this giant rubber spider. Huge. Leftover from Halloween some year gone by. Ori doesn't like spiders. And she lives in my basement. So I put it under her laptop. All right, roll forward. Look at those thumbs. Lift that back leg. If you're in a plank, it looks a little like this. And then pull that left knee forward. Either put the left hip down or slide the right leg back. Find your happy. So pigeon posture isn't happy for a lot of hips. So if you need to drop onto the hip and bend that back leg and then pop over, so that looks like this. Pigeon is going to be completely stretched out. Wherever you're going to find your happy, roll down and in and breathe. Yep. So yeah, big giant rubber spider. And then I forgot about it until bedtime. And Ori's like, okay, night-night, I'm going to go get my beauty sleep. Because that's what she sounds like in my head. The next thing I hear is this. She comes upstairs sweating. Oops, I forgot. It's like being in college again. So we're finding ways to balance ourselves out and find some laughter in our household. I don't necessarily suggest that you do it with a big rubber black creepy looking spider. But those little levity ways, like I saw on Krista's Facebook, she had everybody over for Easter yesterday. Everybody looked so beautiful. Finding those ways to make all of this tolerable. Having church at home, reading some scripture, singing some songs. Kathy Hayes has made herself a YouTube channel, and she and Bill are now playing music and singing on YouTube because it's fun. One more breath. Hands plant. Roll up. Curl those back toes. If you don't want to do this next bit, don't. Lift that leg into the belly. And then either downward facing dog, tabletop, stretch it out, plant it, whatever you need to do. Breathing in and out. And then I promised we're coming out the same way we went in. So if you're in a downward facing dog, you're going to plant your knees. You're going to drop your hips to one side. Sling your legs forward. Going to do a little Paschimottanasana first and a little wide leg forward fold. And then we're going to go right back on our backs and we're going to settle. So find your sits bones, move your mac and cheese out of the way so that the sits bones touch the floor, nice and firm, feet flex, hands reach up, Dandasana, so staff posture. Breathe in, breathe out. First, we're gonna lean back a little. We're gonna lift the right leg. Oh, that is so nice. Inhale. Exhale, right leg comes down, left leg lifts. There's a method to this madness, I promise. Breathe in, breathe out, that leg comes down, now stretch forward. Oh. And because we set off the hip flexors, which are attached to the spine, you will actually end up with a greater sense of relief when you lean forward. So bring the attention into the tailbone. You want that tailbone to scoop behind you as much as you can so that those rib points come closer to your thighs. There you go. Doing it your way. I like it. I love how Barbara fades in and out, and it looks like she gets eaten up by the water sometimes, and she disappears, and then all of a sudden she comes back. I love it. Breathe in and out. Slide the body up, shoulders reach back, plant the hands just behind the hips, reverse plank posture. I promised planks today. Lift, shoulder blades squeeze together. If this isn't going to work for you, then just do modified fish. Inhale. Exhale, hips down, feet wide. Beautiful. Lean it forward. Oh yeah, get into those inner thighs. Shift and move any way that you need to. You guys are gorgeous. I love that you showed up today. We're going to be right back here again, 9 a.m. tomorrow morning. We're setting these as 2-hour meetings because you can do that if you own a particular type of Zoom program. So it's a 2-hour thing. If today's workout from 9 to 10 tore you up and you only want to show up for yoga tomorrow, you show up for yoga tomorrow. You don't wanna, whatever. It's a come and go as you please system. And then Wednesday morning from 9 to 10, we're gonna do yoga and meditation. So we got a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday thing going on for the next 2 weeks. Take a breath in. Breath out. Roll the body up. Either find that blanket roll again and place it. All right. So it goes lengthwise right up against the sacrum and you roll back over it, or sideways behind the sacrum. And when you roll back over it, you then get to do bridge posture. Oh, there's your supported bridge. Or you can do no blanket roll at all. But if you're going to lay on it lengthwise, kind of, it's poisonous in here today, so pick your poison. You might want to let the head hang off. You might need something up under the head. But wherever you go, open your arms up in T position. Now, if you're on the long blanket roll, the tailbone drips down toward the floor so that you've got this really big curve in the lower spine. If that's not comfortable, then you've got this supported bridge. So you have a bit of inversion going on, but it's an inversion that affects your nervous system. It's probably the safest inversion for people with high blood pressure. It's actually a really good inversion for people with low blood pressure. And if you have no blanket roll at all, you can always go into happy baby or thighs into chest and just hold, or you can do your sacral rocking around in circles and from side to side. So it's up to you. And then go into the mind space. Do I want others to feel the way I feel right now? And then wish it for them or wish it away from them. Send those prayers. We got a lot of time on our hands, people. Send those prayers. Excellent. And then on the next breath, you got a couple of things that you can do. If you're in supported bridge, you can simply let your legs fall to the right. You could even hook your right foot on top of your left knee and get even more of a twist. If you're on a long blanket roll, you're probably just going to roll off to the side and then do the same thing. If you're on the floor, just take a spinal twist. I know that offering so many modifications causes me to talk a lot during class, but I really want everybody to have things that are completely accessible for their bodies. And then the other thing about this whole Tonglen process, if I'm wishing this for others, everybody else that's on that screen is now then praying for us. So I see Joan and her cat. So I wish that Joan and her cat feel the way I feel right now. And Barbara and Jamie and Krista and everybody in the Thorpe household. So everybody's getting every single one of your prayers that you're sending up. Next time you breathe in, unwind in the safest way that you have and make your way over to the opposite side. If you need support under the legs, find support. Thank you. Give yourself 5 more breaths. And while everybody takes their 5 breaths, I'm going to do something to give folks meditative options. I drew something on this wall. And what's on the wall is called Metatron's Cube. Let's see if I can get us close enough that we can really see it. And Metatron's cube. Metatron is the lead archangel. And he brings balance. So if laying for Shavasana isn't what you want to do today, then might I suggest you sit up and stare right there, if I can find it, at the middle of the screen, in the center of Metatron's cube. And as a lead archangel, whether you believe in angels or not, suspend the disbelief, knowing that there is something out there creating balance out of the chaos, or creating vice versa, chaos, so to bring in balance. And if you're still on a spinal twist, roll yourself up and in. There you go. And either set yourself up in Shavasana or set yourself up in a meditative posture and start to elongate the breath all the way from the tip of the tailbone to the crown of the head. Tip of the tailbone, crown of the head. And with each breath, find more space in order to elongate the inhale and to lengthen the exhale. Breathing in and breathing out, elongation. So in quantum physics, they talk about how there really is nothing but space. Mass is simply energy that has pulled itself together and given itself weight. So if we have nothing but space, and time is an illusion in quantum physics, then what is possible in this moment? Is there balance? Is there only chaos, or is there only order? And I heard someone say yesterday that a theorist once said, either everything is a miracle or everything is not. Look for miracles. I wish for you all to feel the way I feel in this moment. I wish for you all to feel the way I feel in this moment. I wish for you all to feel the way I feel in this moment. Take a breath in. We'll end as we always do with our 3 breaths. Belly, ribs, and collarbones. Sitting up or laying down. Make any beautiful, joyful sound that calls to you in this moment. Breathe into the belly. Ooh. Into the ribs. Ooh. Third breath, fill yourself all the way up. Ooh. And to the clucking of an egg-laying chicken, I wish you all nothing but abundance, centering, and love. Now.